Moving on to our main story tonight is bowl season. Yeah. Which is a very cool thing to scream when you walk into a Crate and Barrel, but it's also a college football thing. This year there are 40 bowls, including the national championship, 35 of which you can find right here in the ESPN family of networks. Of course, it wasn't always like this. What started about 100 years ago with just the Rose Bowl has expanded.
Welcome to the Tax Slayer Bowl,
The Outback Bowl.
With the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl.
Is it poinsettia? I thought it was poinsettia. Doesn't matter. It expanded again.
The Dollar General Bowl.
the famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
The Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl.
This is a minor note, but if you have to put famous in the name, are you really famous? Doesn't matter. It continued expanding.
This is the Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla Bowl.
New Era Pinstripe Bowl.
Cherry Bundy Todd Cherry Boca Raton Bowl.
You know, people make fun of brand awareness, but without that, I would still think Cherry Bundy was the mom on Married with Children. It fits. By the time we got to 2016, I felt like there were just too many bowl games.
If you felt like there were just too many bowl games last college football season, the NCAA may agree with you. After a record 3 teams with losing records participated in bowls, the NCAA Division I Council has now approved a 3-year moratorium on new postseason games.
This is actually the second time in 5 years that the NCAA has had a bowl moratorium. They did it back in 2011. And then when that 3-year span ended in 2013, you saw 6 new bowls pop up in 2014 and 2015. So there's plenty of cities that still want to add bowls. They still think it's good for their communities, but they're going to have to wait till at least 2019.
Oh, good. Thank God. A much-needed break, freezing the number of bowl games at 40, which is definitely enough. Even with the moratorium coming to an end soon, you know, I cannot imagine that they're going to add
3 more bowls coming in 2020.
more bowls? The only person I trust adding 3 bowls at one time is Red Panda. And even then, it's not always a guarantee. So my question is, why do they keep adding them? Well, as usual, one of the main reasons is money. Schools and conferences collected a profit of $448 million through bowl games last year. To put that in perspective, that is $5 million more than Alvin and the Chipmunks the Squeakquel made in theaters. Also shocking, it made that much money. And sure, maybe you're not all that fired up for the Walk-On's Independence Bowl, airing live from Shreveport, Louisiana on December 27th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. But that doesn't mean the teams aren't.
But our football team is going to come down here ready to play. We're going to practice really hard. We're going to play really hard. I hope that we play well, but I know that we'll play hard. And we're going to find out about Duke, and we're going to find out about Temple, and we're going to find out about which one of those football clubs wants to hit each other harder or longer. They are going to love you. They are going to love Shreveport, and you're going to love them. And they are going to be so appreciative of being here.
In Shreveport? That is Ed Foley, Temple's interim head coach, who's thrilled to be here because it sure beats living in a van down by the river. But teams do have a reason to be excited. Bowl games are recognition for their year of hard work. They get to be on national TV, and if they win, they get a trophy. Sometimes it's filled with delicious fruit. Other times it's filled with incredibly famous vegetables. And other times it's a statue of a Roman god. And the only thing he loves more than forging steel is not wearing pants. That, of course, is the trophy for the Birmingham Bowl, which you can watch live on Saturday, December 22nd at noon Eastern, only on ESPN. But bowl games are also one of the few times players can get just a little compensation for their work. Each player can get a maximum of $550 worth of gifts. What those gifts are depends on the bowl. If you're headed to the New Era Pinstripe Bowl, you're getting a variety of New Era products. Not bad. At the Belk Bowl, you get a $175 shopping trip to Belk, which I think is a department store. So At least your mom's gonna be jazzed. And if you're going to the Frisco Bowl, you get a pin, a coin, and a big game football. That's all it says. Big game football. The B is capitalized, the G is capitalized, and I have no other context to provide. The upside there is that I believe the Frisco Bowl also offers what's called a gifting suite. Lots of bowls do. It's like those rooms they have at award shows that are full of gifts, except instead of everything being free, there's a complicated system of points the athletes have to keep track of.
They give the players almost a shopping experience. They get a point system. Independence Bowl is actually doing a 6-point system. So there's a 1-point table, 2-point, 3-point, 4-point, and a 6-point, all the way up to a 6-point table. And the players have 6 points to shop with. If you want to get something off the 6-point table, then that's going to use up all your points. Or you can make any combination of points to equal 6. 6 1-point items, 2 3-point items. They're based on dollar value.
Yeah, I mean, sounds pretty cool. It's like having a very limited number of Dave & Buster's points, but no other source of income. Adding all of those bowl games over the years, which, brought us gems like the San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl, that's not ours, someone else. So check your local listings or just skip it. Has mostly been in an attempt to make the supply meet the demand, to make the number of bowl game spots match the number of bowl-eligible teams. They haven't quite nailed it. This year, a bunch of teams got their 6th win in their last regular season game, leaving them wondering if they'd even get an invite and rooting against other teams who are on the bubble.
It'll be interesting to see how the games fall out, and we can only control what we can control.
And there's a bunch of 5-win teams, and trust me, we'll have the whammies and the voodoos. I don't believe in any of that crud, but my wife does, so I'll get her going. So she'll try to put some whammies on some people over Thanksgiving. So there'll be a lot of 5-win teams I'm rooting against. I know that.
That one coach's name was Bowl. How do you not invite him? Anyway, despite the voodoo and the whammies, both Wyoming and Miami of Ohio did not get a spot in a bowl game. And unfortunately, they weren't alone.
Previous excitement of a 6-win season has turned into frustration.
With the Sun Belt already at 5 teams for bowl tie-ins, ULM is on the outside looking in.
Southern Miss was not selected for a bowl game this season. The Golden Eagles finished the regular season with a 6-5 record. They were one of 7 schools in Conference USA to reach 6 wins, but only 6 earned invites to the postseason.
Also worth noting, Liberty University finished the season 6-6 as well, but 2 of their wins came against FCS schools, so they're out too, but I'm kind of okay with that one, sorry. But for these 4 schools, that really sucks. These kids did what they were supposed to do, had a better record than teams who have played in bowl games before, but just because Chicken of the Sea hasn't ponied up the money for the Tuna Bowl presented by Six Flags, they don't get any gifts. So, and man, it feels weird to say this, I think I agree with the NCAA here. No one should qualify for a thing and then not get that thing. That's why I have 36 credit cards and a reverse mortgage. We at Always Late wanted to help. At first we thought, what if we sponsored our own bowl game? But once we started listing all the stuff we wanted in our game, we realized we were just describing the Puppy Bowl. That exists already. We also realized sponsoring a bowl game takes a village and a whole bunch of money.
The northwest suburb of Elk Grove Village, nestled adjacent to O'Hare, is setting itself up for some national attention. The Village and ESPN announced that Elk Grove will now be the title sponsor of the Makers Wanted Bahamas Bowl, using the Village's slogan to encourage business growth. The Village is spending $300,000 to sponsor the game, which will air on ESPN December 21st, making it the first time in the history of college football that a bowl game has been sponsored by a non-tourist destination community.
Makers Wanted, also my slogan at the bar. We do not have $300,000 to spare. If we did, our shelves would probably be full of things that aren't just gumballs in a jar. But we do have a moderate budget and a steadfast belief that these kids deserve something for bringing home 6 wins for their school. So we created the Always Late with Katie Nolan Bowl. It's not a football game, but it is quite literally a bowl. It features, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It features our logo. It has, smooth edges and plenty of room for ramen. So we have contacted all 4 of these schools, Wyoming, Miami of Ohio, UL Monroe, and Southern Miss, and we let them know we are sending some bowls their way, and they're going to hand them out to their players as soon as they're back on campus. If that doesn't make you want to go back to school, I don't know what would. Because if you can't go to a bowl, you might as well get one. Happy bowling, kids!
For more, sign up now for ESPN Plus.